Yes, if you talk about nitrogen molecule, bachcho, so we need to draw nitrogen atoms over here first, and we know that nitrogen is from group number 5, so it must have 5 electrons, and out of 5 electrons it needs to share 3 electrons, so it become what, 8 electrons, right? So 5 electrons total for each nitrogen, and 3 will be shared and 2 will be outside, that will be unshared, ठीक है ना? And same as it is, 2 electrons of this nitrogen will be unpaired or unbonded, and 3 will be inside for the bonding. So you will see that nitrogen and nitrogen even can share 3 electrons each, right? So it will form what, nitrogen molecule. Is that right, bacho? Not only 1 electron, but 2 electrons and 3 electrons can also be possible from each atom to be shared at once at a time. Just like this, for you have hydrogen, we know that they are sharing 1 electron each side, from each side. If you talk about oxygen, so they are sharing 2 electrons from each side. Same as it is, even 3 electrons can be shared from each side. So this is the case that you need to keep remember. Is that right, bacho?
Okay, sir. Yes, right. Sir.
Yes, yes. So for example, if you have 1 electron from each side, so you need to show a single line, because 1 electron is shared from each side, so it becomes hydrogen molecule. If 2 electrons are shared from each side, so it will be 2 lines over there, and it is showing 2 bonds, means 4 electrons are involved in bonding, and it will be oxygen molecule, right? And if 3 lines are showing that, it is clearly showing that we have 3 bonds over here, and total 6 electrons are involved in bonding in this molecule, right?
सर ये लाइंस के ऊपर हमको सर डॉट एंड क्रॉस बनाना होता है, मतलब टू जो है रिप्रेजेंट द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स?
नहीं, आप नहीं बनाना चाहें ना बनाएं, बनाना चाहें बना लें, इट्स ऑल अप टू यू, बट ए लाइन वैसे ही शो कर रही है कि एक लाइन का मतलब है 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इन्वॉल्व इन बॉन्डिंग, राइट?
ठीक है सर, समझ गया.
नाउ देयर इज a skill test for you, and what is this? You need to show me the structure of these 2 molecules. जल्दी से मुझे बना के दिखा दें, अदरवाइज फिर मैं बना के दिखाऊंगा आपको. जल्दी से इसके स्ट्रक्चर्स मुझे चाहिए मेरे इंस्टाग्राम पर, बाद में कर भेज देना ताकि मैं चेक कर लूं, ठीक है? Now you all did very well, but some of you are not able to solve this, so मैं उनके लिए इनको करा देता हूं. देखें, carbon required the maximum number of electrons, so it should be in the center, and both the carbon join together by a bond, and we have only 2 hydrogens, so each hydrogen with each carbon, right? We know that carbon has 4 electrons and it wants to be completed its octet. तो अगर 4 electrons हैं, so if you remember my first information about covalent bonding, the number of electrons required is actually the number of electrons shared. So total 4 है, 4 और चाहिए, तो 4 के 4 शेयर कर लेगा, ठीक है ना? So right now एक हाइड्रोजन के साथ कर सकता है, and 3 will be in the center. Same as it is for the second hydrogen, 1 with second carbon, 1 with hydrogen, and 3 will be in the center. And hydrogen can maximum share 1 electron, होता ही एक electron है. So right now carbon share 3 electrons from each side, and 1 hydrogen with 1 electron with hydrogen. So this will be C2H2. Then HCN is one of the difficult structure, and this is not the part of O levels. Sometimes it can be asked in A levels, but I want my student to solve the maximum difficult question. So it will be carbon again in the center, and H over here and over here. So carbon can share 4 electrons, 1 with hydrogen and 3 with nitrogen. And nitrogen maximum can share 3 electrons, and total it has 5 electrons, so 2 will be unpaired or unbonded. Hydrogen can maximum share 1 electron, so it can be hydrogen to carbon single bond and carbon to nitrogen triple bond. This is what everyone wants to do, right, bacho?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any problem to any one of you? Is all clear or not?
Yes, sir.
All clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, bacho, you need to keep remember a few more important things, that if you talk about ionic compounds, so I think you must remember the structure of ionic compounds. I told you that ionic compounds are always from what? Giant ionic lattice, right, bacho, or not?
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Over there that every positive is actually attracted by 6 different negative, है ना? हर एक opposite side पर आपके पास क्या होता है? नेगेटिव होता है, एंड सेम एज इट इज फॉर नेगेटिव एज वेल। अगर एक नेगेटिव की बात करें तो इसकी ऑल अपोजिट साइड्स पर आपके पास क्या होगा, पॉजिटिव भी होगा। it will be like this, and this structure is known as what, giant ionic lattice. It will be known as what, giant ionic lattice. So if I ask you, bacho, if I ask you, what is the name of the structure present in calcium chloride? So what will be the answer? What is the name of the structure of calcium chloride? क्या बताओगे बच्चों?
Giant ionic lattice.
Yes.
Giant-
Yes. For suppose अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं what is the structure, the name of the structure present in magnesium oxide, क्या बताओगे बच्चों?
Giant ionic lattice.
Yes, giant ionic lattice. That's great. You need to keep remember this, that all the ionic compounds have the structure known as giant ionic lattice. Then right now we are doing what? Covalent compounds. All right, we are doing what? Covalent compounds, and these are simple structures, right? These are pretty simple structures. For suppose अगर मैं carbon dioxide का structure बनाऊं, so it is like this, है ना? This is carbon dioxide, carbon and oxygen, right? Carbon share 2 electrons with each oxygen over here like this, and 4 electrons are outside. So this is a simple structures, and the name of this structure is known as simple molecular structures. ठीक है ना? इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं बच्चों? Simple molecular structure. Is that right, बच्चों?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
For suppose अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं what is the name of the structure present in carbon dioxide, क्या बताओगे आप लोग? It will be simple molecular
molecular
structure. Right. For suppose अगर मैं पूछूं what is the name of the structure present in CH4, so क्या बताओगे बच्चों? It will be
Simple molecular
structure.
yes. Very good, every one of you. Good job. So there is a skill test for you as well. Can you identify the giant ionic lattice and simple molecular structures between these or among these molecules or these compounds? You need to do this in your copies. You don't need to send me. I am pretty sure that you all can solve this. For suppose you have NaCl, you have lead bromide, right? You have, for suppose, CF3Cl. For suppose you have N2H2. For suppose you have oxygen molecule. For suppose you have copper iodide. For suppose you have nitrogen molecule. And for suppose you have what HCN molecule. Okay. I thought you all can do this, the structure present over there in these molecules, right or not?
Right, sir.
Yes.
चलें फिर जल्दी से कर लें.
Sir?
जी बेटे.
Sir, can you tell once again what do we have to identify?
You need to write the name of the structure of these compounds.
सर एक दफा दोबारा बता देंगे क्या करना है?
ये देखिए मैंने ये लिखा है ना यहाँ पर कि ionic compounds have giant ionic lattice and
जी,
covalent
सर.
compounds have simple molecular structures. So you need to identify इन सब में से कौन-कौन से में giant ionic lattice होगा और कौन-कौन से में आपके पास simple molecular structures होंगे. That's all.
ओके सर.
आपने मुझे भेजना नहीं है, सब आप अपने पास कर लेना है आपने, ठीक है?
ओके सर.
अब देखिए मैंने यहाँ पर लिख दिया है, ग्रीन से मैंने लिखा है सिंपल मॉलिक्यूलर स्ट्रक्चर एंड ब्लू से मैंने लिखा है जाइंट आयोनिक लैटिस. तो जरा मुझे जल्दी से हम सब बता दें Any one giant ionic lattice over here? Hamza. NaCl, very good. Yes, जल्दी से मुझे बता दें Arsa, sorry. Any simple molecular structure over here? Arsa.
Sir, CF3Cl.
Yes, CF3Cl. Good job. इससे मुझे green से करना है. CF3Cl. Yes. Rafe, can you tell me, बच्चे, can you tell me any one simple molecular structure over here?
Oxygen, sir.
Oxygen. Very good. Yes. Shayan, can you please tell me any one of the giant ionic lattice over here?
सर ये PbBr2 होगा.
PbBr2 होगा. Very good. Yes. Madi, can you please tell me any one of the giant ionic lattice over here? Madi.
Sir, can I?
जी बेटा बताएं.
Copper iodide.
Copper iodide. Good. Yes, Abir, can you please tell me about the rest of three?
Nitrogen is simple.
Not only simple, you need to tell the complete name.
A simple molecular structure.
Yes. And the rest of two?
HCN is also simple molecular structure.
Okay. And the N2H2?
Also simple molecular structure.
Yes, that's very good. I think you all are pretty much smart about this, that you can first identify the compound. Is it covalent and ionic? You can identify this by the first definition that I told you, that the bond between metal and non-metal, or the bond between two non-metals, is actually covalent molecule, covalent bond. ठीक है ना? तो उससे आप पहले identify कर लें bond, then you can tell the structure name, right बच्चों, or not?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have one question over here. Now we need to solve this. It's a very much important question that you need to solve, right? You need to
Okay, sir.
you need to understand that how can we write the answer of this, right? For suppose if we talk about melting point, बच्चों, so melting point of NaCl is actually 801 degrees Celsius, and the melting point of chlorine gas is minus 100 degrees Celsius. देखिए melting point दोनों का काफी different है, right? And the question is state and explain in terms of bonding and structure. In terms of bonding and structure, why NaCl has a greater melting point than chlorine? This is the question that I want to ask from your side, right? So you need to answer this. It is for 4 marks, right? अब आपको ये 4 marks के लिए answer करना है. Let's see how much marks you guys got in this question. Let's start. Idea हो जाएगा? जी बेटे.
Sir, can you tell me the meaning of the sentence that it needs higher energy to overcome?
Yes, अगर आप for suppose आपके पास NaCl है ना, तो Na positive ions और chloride negative ions एक दूसरे को attract कर रहे हैं, सही है?
Yes, sir.
At least आपको उतनी एनर्जी तो देनी है ना जितनी एनर्जी उन दोनों के दरमियान है. उससे जैसे ही एक जूल एनर्जी भी बढ़ेगी तो वो सब्सटेंस या वो कोई भी कंपाउंड जो होगा वो मेल्ट होना शुरू हो जाएगा. ठीक है ना? इट मींस यू रिक्वायर्ड ग्रेटर एनर्जी टू ओवरकम. आप ओवरकम करोगे उनकी बॉन्डिंग तभी तो वो मॉलिक्यूल या वो कंपाउंड मेल्ट होगा ना.
Right, sir.
सही है. This is a framed answer. You need to keep remember this. It's very important. Even in A level, sometimes this question has been seen, right? So you need to keep remember. It's very much important, and it's actually clearing your all concepts of ionic bonding and covalent bonding. So you must go through this question all the time after every few days, and whenever you are going to talk about ionic and covalent bonding for your midterms and for your any school test or whatever, you must need to go through this question. Let's talk about some physical properties. And you need to keep remember, bacho, these are actually journal physical properties. These are journal physical properties. यानी कि हम journal बात कर रहे हैं, हम कोई exception की बात नहीं कर रहे, हम journal बात कर रहे हैं. So if you remember, bacho, in ionic compounds are mostly what? They are mostly, they look like a solid state, right? So mostly ionic compounds are solid at room temperature and pressure, right? Right.
Yes.
But whenever you talk
Right,
about
sir.
covalent compounds, so bacho, they are generally liquids and gases. Generally, even they can occur in solid state as well, but generally they are liquid and gases, most of them, right?
Okay, sir. Right.
Then when the substance has solid and having ionic bonding over there, strong electrostatic force of attraction between the ions, so there must be high melting point over there, you know? They have high melting points.
Yes, sir.
High melting points and boiling points as well. You can use any one of them. कोई से भी एक use कर सकते हैं आप आंसर देते वक्त, high melting point या high boiling point, and definitely they have weak intermolecular forces, so they have low melting point, right? Right, bacho?
Right, sir.
Yes,
Then if you talk about the third physical property, so they are having ions. Ionic compounds have ion in them, so they are soluble in water. They can dissolve in water, so they are soluble in water, while many of the covalent compounds are insoluble. So we are just talking about generally, so they are insoluble in water. Not everyone, like HCl is soluble in water. We are not talking about every covalent compound. We are saying that generally many of them are insoluble, right?
ओके सर, राइट. और सर
Then-
जो डेंसिटीज के बारे में सर बता दें, ये आयोनिक और कोवेलेंट में फर्क.
Yes, मैं बता देता हूँ आपको. First of all, you need to write about conduct electricity. Ionic compounds conduct electricity, right? Ionic compound conduct electricity in molten and aqueous state. They conduct electricity in molten and aqueous state. ठीक है?
ठीक है सर.
But not in solid states, right? You need to keep remember, in solid state they are not able to conduct electricity because they don't have free moving ions. But in covalent compounds, they are insulators. They cannot conduct electricity because they don't have free moving ions, right?
Sir, can you
और
please tell
right,
me
sir.
what is molten and aqueous state?
बेटा molten का mean होता है आपके पास whenever you have, for suppose, liquid state of any substance. For suppose you have NaCl, right? NaCl को आपने क्या कर दिया, melt कर दिया. तो whenever you melt NaCl, it is what? It is solid, और ये हो गया molten NaCl. तो molten NaCl को आप बोलते हो क्या? Liquid NaCl, right? जब आप इसको melt कर देते हो, ठीक है?
Yes.
ठीक है? और aqueous का मतलब होता है when you dissolve it into the water. So अगर आपके पास NaCl है, आपने इसको पानी में dissolve कर दिया, so it will be what? NaCl aqueous. आपने इसको पानी में dissolve कर दिया. सही है?
सर
जी.
सर कोई भी कोवेलेंट कंपाउंड सर मतलब वो नहीं होता सॉल्युबल इन वाटर, कोई भी नहीं.
नहीं, मैंने अभी आपको बताया दे आर मोस्टली इनसॉल्युबल. हर किसी की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे कोवेलेंट कंपाउंड ऐसे होंगे जो पानी में सॉल्युबल हो सकते हैं, बट राइट नाउ वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट एक्सेप्शंस, जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट जनरली. आई टोल्ड यू दैट HCl कैन डिसॉल्व इन वाटर, राइट?
ऑलराइट सर.
तो हर आयोनिक कंपाउंड पानी में सॉल्युबल भी नहीं होता है. जैसे फॉर सपोज अगर आप कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट की बात करें या सिल्वर क्लोराइड की बात करें, तो हर आयोनिक कंपाउंड भी पानी में सॉल्युबल नहीं होता, कुछ इनसॉल्युबल भी होते हैं. बट राइट नाउ यू आर इन O levels, so we are not going to talk about the exceptions and what is the reason why they are not soluble and why they are soluble. So that's fine. We are just talking about the ordinary level right now. So most of them are soluble and most of them are not soluble if you talk about covalent. ठीक है?
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है, if you talk about density, तो definitely density ionic compounds की ज्यादा होगी, covalent की कम होगी, but this is not in our syllabus, so we are not talking about this one, right? So this is what the 4 physical properties that you need to keep remember for every covalent compound in exams. What they ask, definitely वो HCl के बारे में पूछेगा नहीं, ठीक है ना? उसको पता है कि आपको बताया उसने जर्नली ना, तो उसने जब जर्नली बताया तो वो जर्नली ही आपसे पूछेगा, वो आपसे उन चीजों के बारे में पूछेगा ही नहीं जो एक्सेप्शंस हैं, ठीक है?
सर
ओके सर।
जी बेटे।
सर आयनिक कंपाउंड ज्यादा स्टेबल होते हैं ना?
आयोनिक कंपाउंड ज्यादा स्टेबल होते हैं, उसकी वजह ये है बिकॉज दे हैव स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन ना। जैसे आपको NaCl को मेल्ट करने के लिए 801 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड चाहिए, तो डेफिनेटली ये ज्यादा टेम्परेचर देना पड़ेगा, तो इट इज स्टेबल टिल 800 डिग्री सेल्सियस, राइट?
यस सर।
और सर जो कोवेलेंट कंपाउंड्स होते हैं वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मतलब नहीं करते जो है कंडक्ट?
Yes, I told you that many of them are insulators, right? They are not conductors of electricity, but again, there would be some exceptions as well. जैसे आपके पास for suppose अगर आप हाइड्रोजन क्लोराइड की बात करो, तो हाइड्रोजन क्लोराइड is a covalent compound, right? It is a covalent compound. तो ये पानी में जब तक dissolve नहीं होगा, जब तक ये कुछ नहीं करेगा, ये electricity conduct नहीं कर सकता because it is gaseous. But जैसे आप इसको पानी में dissolve करोगे, तो it is a strong acid, so it will dissociate into ions. So it can conduct electricity even. It is a covalent compound, लेकिन electricity conduct कर सकता है. So there are some exceptions as well, but we are not talking about exceptions right now. We are just talking about general physical properties, right?
Okay sir, right.
Yes, any question
Okay,
from
sir, right.
anyone else?
नो सर।
चलें जल्दी से फिर ये वाला क्वेश्चन करेंगे हम. This is the skill test for you. Write down any 2 characteristics of magnesium oxide and also write down any 2 physical properties of like oxygen gas. या हम कुछ और कर लेते हैं, ऑक्सीजन तो बहुत आसान हो जाएगी. Write down any 2 physical properties of, just talk about N2H2, ठीक है ना? N2H2 के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. जी बेटे.
सर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक भी फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी में काउंट होगी या फिर क्या?
क्या चीज? हाँ, characteristics means physical properties, right? The same thing.